Well, Andy Jones is the owner of Jones & Sons in East London and joins me now. Hello to you, Andy. I wonder what you made of those words from Dr. Jenny Harries today, urging people to avoid those unnecessary social contacts.
Well, I'm getting the feeling that we've seen this film before, huh? It's extremely frustrating that the doctor makes such a sweeping statement, which is great for her. She gets a bit of airtime, that's great. But you're putting millions of people in the hospitality sector on red alert. Now, are people aware of the year that we have had in hospitality? Are people aware of how tough it's been? Are people aware that people have left our industry, good, hardworking staff have left our industry, and they will never come back? It has made this year almost unbearable. We look forward to Christmas. Every hospitality owner, every hospitality worker, if it's something you love to do, you look forward to Christmas. It's the best time of year. It's amazing. As an owner, this sees us through until March. This pays the bills until March. This fills the holes that the first few lockdowns have created for us. And for someone to make a statement that just puts everybody on red alert, I think it's appalling behaviour. Now, there's 22 cases. 9 from one single event. I don't think there's enough evidence for Dr. Harries to come out and say something so sweeping that can have a massive impact on our industry. I think it's really, really irresponsible.
I mean, the point is the government's trying to get ahead of this so we don't see another wave of this, isn't it? And that in itself would protect the hospitality sector and the economy more broadly. But we did then hear from the Prime Minister this afternoon saying Christmas parties shouldn't be cancelled at this point. Are you, though, Andy, seeing people start to cancel bookings since the news of the Omicron variant came out?
We're not yet, but let's not forget what Boris was saying at this time last year. Christmas wouldn't be cancelled, and then let's see what happened, OK? We cannot trust what Boris Johnson is saying to us in the hospitality sector because he has lied. He has gone back on his word so many times that I personally don't even listen to a word he says now. When you contacted me today, I was like, here we go again. Now, the bigger companies that we have booked in for Christmas, they will have COVID protocols. Now, these are big companies that will book my restaurant or my studio space for the entire day, which is really, I need that for my business. They will have COVID protocols. They will now be having meetings tomorrow about cancelling their huge Christmas parties of 100 people, 120 people, 160 people. This is the reality of what's going to happen. One sweeping statement. Now, you can get ahead of it all you like. You can roll out these boosters all you like. But the scaremongering has now begun for the hospitality sector, and it's going to have an impact, and it will be relatively immediate. For 22 cases, 9 of them from one single event, and I'm led to believe not a single person in hospital. Tell me that's fair for an entire industry, the 3rd or 4th biggest employer in the entire country, the hospitality sector. It will be wiped out.
Yeah, and obviously Christmas is a key trading period. It isn't just the government, though, that is issuing these warnings, is it? It's coming from the World Health Organization as well. This is coming from other countries who are even putting the UK on the red list. Can I ask you, though, about the mask mandate? Hospitality, pubs and restaurants exempt from that mask mandate at the moment. If it were to come into place that masks needed to be worn when people were moving around pubs and restaurants, what impact would that have, Andy?
If they allowed us to trade and put masks on, that is fine. We are used to that. It's very hard to enforce. If people have got a few drinks inside them, it's very hard to enforce. But I would go along with it if we could stay open and it didn't deter people from coming in. We can't do another you can only eat outside again. It's way too cold, and it's just not the right time of year for anything like that. We have to get through this period. I think more evidence is needed before statements from the doctor can influence an entire industry and people's thinking on that entire industry. It's frustrating, and I've been on with you guys a few times, and I feel like I'm saying the same thing, but I am saying the same thing. We're nearly 2 years into this. When are we going to learn to live with this? When are we going to learn that this is now a part of modern day life? Like wearing a mask. Wear a mask if you want to. Don't wear a mask if you don't want to. I'm not judge and juror on that. But if you want to come into hospitality places, if you want to have a good time, don't listen to the words of one doctor who's got her airtime today with a sweeping statement that's now put everybody on the back foot and putting the hospitality sector again in the public eye. Are we going to go? Are we not going to go? If another lockdown comes, it will be catastrophic. And we've heard Boris say this before a few times, and he went back on his word. And I can't imagine that he's going to stick to it this time.
I mean, he did repeat again today, didn't he, that he thinks that a lockdown like we've seen before isn't going to happen. But you are not alone in feeling a sense of déjà vu, Andy. Nicola Sturgeon has today suggested that anyone who's going out anywhere and mixing with anyone not within their household should take lateral flow tests on every occasion. Do you think that is a possibility, and what impact would that then have on business?
It's an impracticality to take a lateral flow test every time you go and see a friend. We're in East London. It's a very sociable place. There's lots of bars, lots of restaurants. People go out all the time. We're a busy restaurant. You can't be asking people to have a lateral flow test every time they come in. You can't be asking for a vaccine passport. You can't be asking for evidence if they've had their booster. When is this going to end? I don't listen to Nicola Sturgeon. I don't necessarily listen to Boris Johnson anymore. It just feels like the merry-go-round of the same thing is happening. And the hospitality industry, the arts will be affected, of course, creative industries will be affected, of course. But I'm speaking of hospitality. This is going to have a massive knock-on effect. And the more people that start shouting out about, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need lateral flows just to go and see a friend, people aren't going to bother. They're going to stay in, they're going to watch television, and our industry is going to get hit again. We were closed for 8 months. Like nearly 8 months in 2 years. If that happens again, this is insane. I'm in London. I pay London rent. You cannot continue to do this and stay in business. It's ludicrous. We have to get on with it.
Yeah, and I can hear that sense of dread in your voice, Andy. And we wish you all the best for the Christmas period. Andy Jones there, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.